The garbage that was dumped there through those years, it's still there. It's buried, and what happens over time is it decomposes, just like composting. That's why we like composting. But now you have to remember, there are items that don't decompose. Number one target enemy of recycling is plastic in the garbage because it does not decompose. Styrofoam, as you know, is styrofoam cups. We call it polyfoam. It does not decompose. Tires, they don't break down. So even at the landfill, it's been closed since 2001. If we were to dig up certain areas, you would see tires, you would see the plastic because it doesn't break down. That's why we want to remove those non-recycled, those non-natural items out of the waste that don't break down naturally and recycle them to use them for another way. Now, the conversion into a park, it's a great idea. That Fresh Kills landfill would be the largest park in the city of New York, much larger than Central Park in Manhattan, which is huge. So the process is, as the garbage starts to break down, in science, it creates methane gas. Methane gas is flammable, so you just can't have people running around in that area until we extract all the methane gas. We have a process in there that extracts the methane gas. They call it washing it, scrubbing it, meaning getting all the materials out that can't be used, and it's sold back to Con Edison, and that is used to house or electrify about 10,000 homes on Staten Island. So see, even with trash, when it decomposes naturally, it gives back to Mother Nature because we're using that now to do that. The rain that goes into the landfill, is similar to a bathtub with a lining underneath the garbage, which filtrates the water that goes through. We call it leachate, which gets cleaned up and sent back into the Arthur Kill River that's there, that the Parks Department's now going to use later on as a rowing operation for canoeing. So Fresh Kills landfill doesn't belong to the Department of Sanitation anymore. Once you close a landfill, it's given over to the Parks Department, and they basically, through time, because it takes 30 years of monitoring any locations that's closed to make sure the methane gas is gone, but as different sections are cleared, they're used by the Parks Department for various things.
We learned from a 1989 video that Fresh Kills was supposed to reach 500 feet high before it closed. Did it?
No, it didn't. Fresh Kills did not reach its maximum potential. There was still a lot of room there, but I have to say on behalf of the residents of Fresh Kills, because when it originally opened in 1948, it was only supposed to be open 1 year, and it closed when? 2001. So Staten Island then, like everywhere else in New York, has grown and buildings and developed. Wasn't very large there with a residence population, but as it evolved and it grew and more people moved to Staten Island, the stench coming from the landfill wasn't pleasant. The seagulls at the landfill was something like an Alfred Hitchcock movie, if you ever seen it, The Birds. So in time, the governor came out with an edict that Fresh Kills had to close, and politically, Fresh Kills was closed in 2001.